It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160, and our conversation with Officer Chris Bianez of Plano, Texas, brought to you by Marcus and Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Officer Bianez, good morning.
Good morning, Todd.
It's good to have you with us here today on a very, very important topic. We're hearing about it here in Pennsylvania. I'm sure you have it in Texas. It's all over the nation. When the vaccine comes out, when anything new comes out, there's usually somebody waiting around the corner to sort of prey on the most vulnerable of our citizens. And unfortunately, that's been the case with the COVID-19 vaccine, huh?
That's so true. So thank you for bringing this attention to your listeners, because as you mentioned, anytime there's any new medical or economic issues, they're going to come up with a new angle to try to scam people out of their money.
Now, we're thinking that with this, it's the usual methods that they're using to get you out of your money, and that is getting into your bank account by getting you to reveal personal information. There may be certain twists to it with the vaccine, though, and part of that might be the fact that people are so desperate to get this vaccine. Would I be correct in saying that?
Yes, sir, because when people are more, I guess, desperate to have something happen, whether it's their finances or, in this case, to get the vaccine, they're more vulnerable. And so scammers are taking advantage of that. They're calling people up and letting them know they're from the health department, and they can get them in line quicker to get that vaccine, to get them that protection. However, there will be a small fee. Now, anytime they're asking you for a small fee, or they need your Social Security number in terms of this vaccine or anything else, in law enforcement, we call that a clue. You are being scammed.
Well, yeah, and of course, with every scam, it seems those are popular methods. What are some of the other ways that we might have a hint that this might not be on the up and up?
Yeah, when you get these pop-ups about something that is intriguing about the coronavirus, and you click on that link, that's what they want you to do, is to click on links. And if you look up carefully, hopefully the best practice, don't click on these links to unsolicited emails, texting, or anything like that, because now they can have malware on your devices and start pulling down all your information, and they're looking for those passwords and other things to make you vulnerable. But you can look up at those websites, and if you don't see that HTTPS, we're saying that it's secure, you know that you're on a bad website. So only go online onto sites that you type in. Don't click on links. And also watch out for these now with the stimulus. They're talking about they're going to have maybe a new stimulus package coming out. Well, of course, they're going to be all over that, saying get your check faster. We can get you a higher amount of money by this small fee. So government loan assistance, student loan forgiveness, all these things give them opportunities to try to fake people out.
So it's not just COVID-19 scams. It is the vaccine, it's stimulus money. There are people that are out there, and this is how they make their living. And you know, especially for someone who is maybe younger, a little bit more savvy, they say, well, who would ever fall for something like that? But they only need one or two people to fall for something like that, and they've made themselves a much richer person, made somebody else much poorer, don't they?
Yeah, as of January 21st, the FTC stated that they'd already logged 327,000 consumer complaints with a loss of $309.4 million. So many people falling for it because, like you said, this is their full-time job, and they'll put in overtime if they can get you. It's just like sales. It's a numbers game. You keep calling, and someone's going to fall for it, and they have no shame. There was one scammer who, they changed his voice, or it was a female actually, and she said, if you send money once or twice or three times and you're not getting anything back, well, if you're that dumb, you get what you get.
No. Boy, oh boy. Last hour we had Indiana Borough Police Chief Justin Schall on the air with us. The District Attorney, Bob Manzi, has been talking about this. Our U.S. Attorney out of Pittsburgh, Scott Brady, he's been talking about it. Here you are from Plano, Texas. The FBI is involved. Law enforcement is really out there to help right now, and they recognize the problem, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. And the FTC, like you said, FBI, FCC, SEC, with so many sources coming and talking about this. This shows how prevalent it is and how important it is for us to protect our information. And remember, the faster they need your money, the more you need to slow down.
Mm. Officer Chris Bianez on the line with us here this morning. We're talking about scammers, in particular, in this case, about COVID-19 vaccine scams, but it can be anywhere. How long have you been involved in this scam deal?
Well, ever since we started talking about, we knew this was going to come out as scams. As soon as we heard about this COVID-19, we said this is a great way they're going to come out with new scams. And sure enough, we got ahead of this and started putting out information. But ever since we heard about COVID-19, we started warning the public to be aware of these types of scams. And they were everything we claimed and more. Now, the latest one is they're talking about, because of the financial impact, is how to get hot new stocks from companies working on coronavirus products and services. But you have to act now to really cash in on this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Yeah, they really want to get at you quickly, don't they? So they can move on to another one and maybe pressure you.
That's right. And if they ever ask you to go down, and they want to keep you on the line, they don't want you to hang up. Because if you hang up, here's what when I talked to my fraud detective, they said every single person who has been scammed did not talk to someone else. If they talked to someone else, they didn't fall for the scam. So they want to keep you on the phone. They want you to go down to the store and immediately buy a gift card, purchase the gift card, and read them off the numbers right now. They don't let you hang up. And that is a clue.
Chris, has it surprised you at all how quickly they were on this, or the number of people that are involved in this? It just seems like they're everywhere right now.
Well, Todd, as you mentioned, this is a big business. They're making millions of dollars off this. So it doesn't surprise me, and it's not going to go away. So we need to be extra vigilant, especially in times like this. But there's people that are in big businesses, and their whole company, all they do is defraud people. And they have supervisors and the whole thing. So it's big business, not just an individual by themselves. This is a very big business.
Yeah, and from the sounds of things, one of the things that you're recommending people do is, A, hang up on them, but B, if you have any doubts at all, find someone you trust that's really going to be able to give you the solid advice, and they'll be able to spot that scam right away.
Yes, and around this COVID-19, find out the practices. How are people getting those vaccines? Find out the process, and that way you're less likely to fall prey to some scam if you know the proper way that it's done. And again, anytime someone asks you for personal identifying information, if they ask you for money in law enforcement, we call that a clue. Don't do it.
Chris, do most law enforcement agencies or maybe even independents have scam prevention specialists and resources for people to turn to when they feel they are being scammed?
Some do, not all, but we're very fortunate to hear that we actually have a crime prevention unit. But most units will have different fraud detectives in their criminal investigation division, so definitely reach out. But the best practice, of course, is just to be vigilant and not giving out information like that. And if we have any elderly senior citizens in our lives, be sure to educate them. They are particularly vulnerable, and so they target them specifically.
Chris Bianez has been so helpful to us here this morning. It's snowy here in Pennsylvania this week. What's it like in Plano?
Oh, it's not snowing. We had one day of snow that lasted for an hour, and boy, the Texans are running around all excited.
For the one day that you had of snow, huh?
That's right.
I'm on my way to Plano. What's the temperature today?
I think it's about 50 degrees.
50? All right. Boost that up a little bit, and I'll be right down, okay?
Oh, I sure will.
Hey, Chris, thanks for being with us today. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Todd.